Did you know that Costco sells over 100 million prepared meals every single year? And according to industry data, a growing number of those buyers are seniors? In fact, surveys show that nearly 1 in 3 older adults rely on ready-to-eat store meals at least 3 times a week. The convenience is undeniable, but so are the hidden risks. You walk into Costco and the temptation is everywhere. Golden rotisserie chicken pot pies, creamy pasta trays, cheesy lasagnas, and sandwiches that look like they were made for a magazine cover. They're tasty, affordable, and save you from standing over a hot stove. But here's the catch. Many of these meals are loaded with more salt than you should eat in an entire day, shocking amounts of saturated fat, and enough hidden sugars to rival a dessert. For seniors, that's a dangerous combination. As we age, our metabolism slows down, our kidneys become less efficient at processing sodium, and our hearts work harder under the strain of excess fat and calories. That means what might be a harmless dinner for a younger person can turn into a serious health hazard for someone over 60, leading to swelling in the legs, high blood pressure spikes, increased risk of stroke, and even heart failure. But don't worry, this isn't about banning convenience from your life. My goal is to show you exactly which 10 Costco prepared meals you should absolutely avoid if you want to protect your heart, keep your blood sugar stable, and stay active and strong. I'll also share healthier swaps so you can still enjoy the time-saving benefits of prepared food, without sacrificing your health in the process. Let's start with the biggest offenders you need to know about. Meal number 1. Costco's rotisserie chicken pot pie. It's big, it's golden, it smells incredible, and it's one of Costco's best-selling comfort foods. The rotisserie chicken pot pie seems like an innocent, home-style dinner. After all, it's filled with chicken, vegetables, and a flaky crust. But here's the harsh truth. Nutritionally, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. A single slice, just 1/8 of the pie, contains 790 calories, 47 grams of fat, and a staggering 1,700 milligrams of sodium. And that's if you stick to one slice. Let's be real. Most people have at least 2 slices, especially if it's their main meal. That means you could easily consume over 3,000 milligrams of sodium in one sitting, double the recommended daily amount for seniors. Why is that a problem? Excess sodium draws water into your bloodstream, increasing blood volume and forcing your heart to pump harder. For older adults, this strain can trigger high blood pressure spikes, swelling in the ankles, and even congestive heart failure in severe cases. The fat content, especially the saturated fat from butter and shortening in the crust, can raise LDL cholesterol, which clogs arteries over time. And while it's called a chicken pot pie, the chicken is often mixed with a heavy cream-based sauce. That means a lot of the protein benefit is outweighed by the fat and starch. Plus, most of the vegetables inside, like peas and carrots, are minimal in portion compared to the creamy filling. Healthier swap. If you crave the comfort of pot pie, try making a lighter version at home. Use shredded rotisserie chicken breast, fill it with a variety of colorful vegetables, and use a whole wheat phyllo or puff pastry sheet on top instead of a full butter crust. You'll still get the comfort food taste without the salt and fat overload. Bottom line, Costco's rotisserie chicken pot pie is best admired from afar. Meal number 2. Kirkland's signature mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is the ultimate comfort food, and Costco's Kirkland's signature mac and cheese looks like it could feed a family of 4, or one very hungry person. It's creamy, cheesy, and golden on top. But when you break down the nutrition, you'll see why it's a poor choice for seniors. 1 cup, just 1 cup, contains 720 calories, 38 grams of fat, and 1,500 milligrams of sodium. And remember, most of us serve ourselves a bowl, not a measuring cup. 2 cups is already pushing 3,000 milligrams of sodium, and that's before any side dishes. The saturated fat alone, about 20 grams per serving, is more than an older adult should ideally have in an entire day. Saturated fat raises LDL cholesterol, stiffens arteries, and increases heart attack risk. And because this dish is made with refined pasta and heavy cheese sauce, it's high on the glycemic index, which means it can cause blood sugar spikes, especially dangerous for seniors managing diabetes. Another hidden issue is the lack of nutrients. Sure, there's calcium from the cheese, but there's virtually no fiber, vitamin C, or antioxidants. That means you're eating a calorie-heavy meal without the nutrients your body needs for muscle, immune, and brain health. Healthier swap. If you love mac and cheese, try a lighter homemade version with whole grain pasta, reduced fat cheese, and pureed butternut squash or cauliflower in the sauce. You'll get creaminess, fiber, and vitamins without the artery-clogging fat. Mac and cheese might feel like childhood nostalgia in a bowl, but for seniors, Costco's version can push your heart and blood sugar in the wrong direction. Fast. Meal number 3. Chicken Alfredo pasta. Creamy, rich, and generously portioned, Costco's chicken Alfredo pasta is another top seller in their prepared food section. At first glance, it might seem like a balanced meal. There's chicken for protein, pasta for carbs, and a savory sauce. But the nutritional profile tells a different story. 1 cup of this pasta contains 650 calories, 31 grams of fat, and a whopping 1,600 milligrams of sodium. That means if you eat 2 cups, a realistic portion for dinner, you're hitting 3,200 milligrams of sodium, more than double the recommended daily amount for seniors, in just one meal. The Alfredo sauce is where most of the damage is hiding. It's typically made with heavy cream, butter, and full-fat cheese, creating a high saturated fat combination that clogs arteries over time. The chicken in the dish might sound healthy, but it's often cooked in oil and mixed into the sauce, absorbing even more fat and sodium. The white pasta adds another problem: refined carbs that convert quickly into sugar, causing blood sugar spikes. For seniors with insulin resistance or diabetes, this can lead to fatigue, dizziness, and long-term damage to blood vessels. Healthier swap. If you love Alfredo, make a lighter version at home using whole wheat pasta, grilled chicken breast, and a sauce made from pureed white beans or Greek yogurt mixed with Parmesan for creaminess. You can also bulk up the dish with steamed broccoli or spinach for fiber and antioxidants. Costco's chicken Alfredo pasta might seem like a quick, satisfying dinner, but it's really a double whammy of excess sodium and saturated fat. 2 things seniors should be cutting back on, not doubling up. Meal number 4. Beef lasagna. Few dishes feel as hearty and satisfying as a classic lasagna, and Costco's beef lasagna looks like it came straight from an Italian family kitchen. Layered pasta, rich meat sauce, creamy ricotta, and gooey mozzarella. What's not to love? Unfortunately, the nutrition label is a reality check. 1 slice, about 1/6 of the tray, contains 680 calories, 34 grams of fat, and around 1,600 milligrams of sodium. But here's the kicker: most people easily eat 2 slices, especially if it's the main course. That could mean 300 plus calories, nearly 70 grams of fat, and 3,200 milligrams of sodium in one sitting. The sodium alone can cause dangerous spikes in blood pressure, while the saturated fat from beef, cheese, and cream layers raises LDL cholesterol, increasing the risk of clogged arteries. And we're not talking about lean ground beef here. It's usually higher fat beef that contributes even more to cholesterol levels. Another concern is portion control. Lasagna is dense and easy to overeat because the pasta and cheese make it incredibly filling yet calorie-packed. Add garlic bread or salad with a creamy dressing, and you've doubled the damage without realizing it. Healthier swap. Try making a homemade vegetable lasagna with lean ground turkey or lentils, whole grain noodles, and part-skim mozzarella. You can also replace some cheese with thin layers of zucchini or eggplant to add fiber and lower the calorie count. Costco's beef lasagna might be comfort food at its finest, but for seniors, it can be a heavy load for the heart and digestive system to handle, especially if enjoyed regularly. Meal number 5. Fried chicken meal pack. Golden, crispy, and aromatic, Costco's fried chicken meal pack is a crowd pleaser. It's ready to serve, perfect for a quick dinner or a family gathering. But while it's a treat for the taste buds, it's trouble for the heart. A single piece of fried chicken thigh contains about 430 calories, 25 grams of fat, and 900 milligrams of sodium. Multiply that by 2 or 3 pieces, and you're looking at over 1,200 calories and nearly 3,000 milligrams of sodium before adding any sides. The frying process soaks the chicken in oil, often hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated, which contains trans fats, a major driver of heart disease. Trans fats not only raise LDL cholesterol but also lower HDL, the good cholesterol, creating a double blow to cardiovascular health. For seniors, Fried foods can also cause digestive discomfort, especially if gallbladder function has slowed or if acid reflux is an issue. The high fat content can leave you feeling sluggish and bloated, and frequent consumption increases inflammation in the body, a known contributor to arthritis pain. Healthier swap. Instead of fried chicken, try oven-baked or air-fried chicken using skinless cuts. Coat with whole wheat breadcrumbs and herbs for crunch without the oil bath. You can even marinate in buttermilk overnight for tenderness without adding heavy batter. Costco's fried chicken might feel like a quick win on a busy day, but in the long run, it can take a toll on your energy, waistline, and heart health. Meal number 6. Pepperoni pizza. Pizza is one of those foods that's hard to resist, and Costco's pepperoni pizza is famous for being big, cheesy, and affordable. But while it's a hit at parties, it's a nutritional pitfall for seniors. One slice contains 710 calories, 33 grams of fat, and 1,650 milligrams of sodium. And that's just one slice. Costco's pizza slices are huge, and most people don't stop at one. 2 slices can easily push you over 1,400 calories and more than 3,000 milligrams of sodium. The pepperoni itself is a major red flag. Processed meats like pepperoni contain nitrates and nitrites, preservatives linked to an increased risk of certain cancers. They also pack a hefty sodium load and contribute to inflammation, which can worsen arthritis and joint pain. The cheese adds even more saturated fat, and the white flour crust spikes blood sugar levels. Eating pepperoni pizza regularly can contribute to weight gain, high cholesterol, and elevated blood pressure. 3 risk factors seniors especially need to watch. Healthier swap. If you love pizza, make your own with a whole wheat crust, reduced fat mozzarella, and plenty of vegetables like spinach, mushrooms, and bell peppers. For meat lovers, use grilled chicken or turkey sausage instead of processed pepperoni. Costco's pepperoni pizza might win in taste and convenience, but nutritionally, it's a poor investment in your long-term health. Meal number 7. Shrimp Alfredo. Seafood is often considered a healthy choice, and shrimp can be a great source of lean protein and omega-3 fatty acids. But Costco's shrimp Alfredo turns that potential health benefit into a sodium and fat overload. 1 cup of this dish contains 640 calories, 30 grams of fat, and around 1,550 milligrams of sodium. If you eat a dinner-sized portion, about 2 cups, you're at 1,280 calories, 60 grams of fat, and more than 3,000 milligrams of sodium in one sitting. The Alfredo sauce is the main culprit. Made with heavy cream, butter, and cheese, it's a saturated fat powerhouse. While the shrimp themselves are healthy, they're drowned in sauce, eliminating most of their nutritional advantage. And just like with chicken Alfredo, the pasta is refined white flour, which spikes blood sugar and leaves you feeling sluggish afterward. For seniors, this is a dangerous combination. Sodium that strains the heart and kidneys, fat that clogs arteries, and refined carbs that destabilize blood sugar. Over time, it can worsen conditions like hypertension, diabetes, and high cholesterol. Healthier swap. Try grilled shrimp over whole wheat pasta or zucchini noodles with a light olive oil and garlic sauce. Add spinach, cherry tomatoes, or roasted vegetables for flavor and extra nutrients. While shrimp can be a heart-friendly protein, Costco's shrimp Alfredo serves it in a way that can do more harm than good. Meal number 8. Shepherd's pie. Shepherd's pie sounds wholesome: meat, vegetables, mashed potatoes. What's not to like? Costco's version is hearty and filling, but it's also heavy on the calories, carbs, and sodium. 1 cup contains around 550 calories, 27 grams of fat, and 1,400 milligrams of sodium. But most people serve themselves a portion closer to 2 cups, which doubles those numbers. That means one dinner could be 1,100 calories, 54 grams of fat, and almost 3,000 milligrams of sodium. The mashed potatoes are made with butter and cream, adding to the saturated fat content. The meat layer, often beef, adds even more fat and cholesterol. The vegetable content is minimal, meaning you're missing out on the fiber and vitamins that should balance a hearty meal like this. For seniors, the high sodium can cause swelling in the feet and legs, strain on the heart, and spikes in blood pressure. The carb-heavy potatoes can also cause post-meal fatigue and blood sugar fluctuations. Healthier swap. Make a lighter shepherd's pie at home using lean ground turkey, sweet potatoes instead of white potatoes, and a generous portion of mixed vegetables in the filling. Costco's shepherd's pie delivers comfort food flavor, but it's best kept as an occasional indulgence rather than a weekly staple. Meal number 9. Barbecue pulled pork. Barbecue pulled pork is a favorite for sandwiches and party platters, and Costco's version is flavorful, tender, and ready to serve. But it's also a sugar and sodium trap. A single 4-ounce serving contains about 370 calories, 18 grams of fat, 1,250 milligrams of sodium, and around 20 grams of sugar, mostly from the barbecue sauce. Since most people eat closer to 6 to 8 ounces, you could easily be consuming over 700 calories, 2,500 milligrams of sodium, and 40 grams of sugar in one meal. The combination of high sodium and sugar is particularly dangerous for seniors. Sodium spikes blood pressure, while sugar causes blood sugar swings that can lead to fatigue, irritability, and over time, increased risk of type 2 diabetes complications. The pork itself is high in saturated fat, which can worsen cholesterol levels. Healthier swap. Try shredded chicken breast with a homemade barbecue sauce made from tomato paste, vinegar, spices, and just a touch of honey or maple syrup. You'll control the sugar and salt content while still enjoying that smoky sweet flavor. Costco's barbecue pulled pork might be quick and tasty, but it's a meal that can quickly push your daily sodium and sugar far past safe limits. Meal number 10. Turkey and cheese croissant sandwich pack. At first glance, a turkey and cheese croissant sandwich might sound like a balanced lunch. After all, turkey is lean protein. But Costco's turkey and cheese croissant sandwich pack comes with hidden issues. One sandwich contains 680 calories, 36 grams of fat, and 1,300 milligrams of sodium. The croissant, while buttery and delicious, is made with refined white flour and a large amount of butter, adding unnecessary saturated fat. The cheese adds even more fat and sodium, while the deli turkey, though lean, contains preservatives and a high sodium load from processing. For seniors, this combination can cause blood pressure spikes, cholesterol increases, and energy crashes due to the refined carbs. Plus, the lack of vegetables in these sandwiches means you're missing out on fiber and micronutrients. Healthier swap. Use whole grain bread or a whole wheat pita, low-sodium turkey slices, and reduced fat cheese. Add lettuce, tomato, cucumber, or spinach for extra fiber and nutrients. Costco's turkey and cheese croissant sandwich might be convenient for a quick meal, but it's not the kind of convenience your heart and metabolism will thank you for. Costco is a great place to shop for bulk bargains, but not all deals are good for your health, especially when it comes to prepared meals. Many of the items we've covered today are loaded with sodium, saturated fat, refined carbs, and hidden sugars that can quietly chip away at your well-being. Here are a few quick tips for making healthier choices. Read the nutrition label carefully, especially sodium, fat, and sugar content. Watch portion sizes. Costco portions are large, so split meals or freeze half for later. Choose meals with vegetables as the main component, not just as garnish. Opt for grilled, baked, or roasted proteins over fried or cream-based dishes. Limit processed meats like pepperoni and deli turkey, which are high in sodium and preservatives. Small swaps can make a big difference. You don't have to give up prepared meals entirely. Just be selective and balance them with fresh produce, whole grains, and lean proteins. By being mindful of what goes into your cart, you can enjoy Costco's convenience without sacrificing your long-term health.